Hey guys, well, welcome back to the channel. So as promised, this is the start of Spy Family Saturdays. I did not review the first season of Spy Family. It's sort of when I fell in love with the series and just binged the manga. But I wanted to review the anime. I love the series, as you guys know, and today is the premiere of season 2. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. But if you're enjoying the content here, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. So this episode is called Follow Mama and Papa. And fun fact, this episode should have been in season 1. It's actually an extra mission that happens in volume 3 of the manga. But I'd like to pause because, guys, the opening for season 2 is so cute. Did you guys see the opening? I loved it. It's so bubbly and catchy and just, it's adorable. I love it. But anyways, the episode starts off, and I like the way they did this. It starts off, you don't see anything, it's just dark, and you hear like boom, pow, and like people getting tossed and stabbed and all that kind of stuff. And of course, the light comes in, you see bodies on the floor, and you see yours on the phone with her employer. And so she's on a mission. She thinks that she's taking care of the members of the Red Circus, but one of them is still alive, and he's like, hey, the Thorn Princess, I'm gonna take her out. She's a monster. She isn't aware that, you know, any of these guys are still alive, and so she gets shot. It flashes to her coming home. She's like, you know, Lloyd, I have the eggs, I have the milk. She's clearly not in a good mood. Like, the alarm bells are going off, and he's like, oh no, like, what did I do? Why is she in a bad mood? What's going on? Anya's reading her mind, and it's revealed that she got shot in the butt. I've never been shot. I don't know how painful it is, but I can only imagine that being shot in your butt hurts a lot. You know, she's like, oh, what am I gonna do? Like, maybe if I get a good night's sleep, this will be gone by tomorrow. And so she tells the fam, hey, I'm going to bed, see you guys in the morning. Lloyd is like going through like a million different scenarios in his mind, and Anya's like, dude, you're way off. And so it's the next day, and so since Yor and Lloyd have the day off, he decides to ask her, hey, do you want to go on a date with me today? And, you know, Yor's like, a date? You know, and she thinks back to her coworkers. What kind of dates do you go out on with your husband? And Yor's like, we don't go out on dates. I've never been on one. And of course, Camilla's like, how can that be possible? You had to have gone out on a date with your husband. And so Yor sees this as a learning experience, and despite her being in pain, she's like, I'm gonna do this. Give me a second, I'm gonna go and get changed. Anya's super excited. She's like, yay, an outing, a date, let's go. And Lloyd's like, you're not coming with us, it's a date. So Frankie has to be called in to do some babysitting. Lloyd has this whole day like pre-planned. He has like 800 and something ideas to get Yor out of this bad mood. Meanwhile, Yor's like, oh, my butt, everything hurts, you know, and so he has a chauffeur, you know, show up, and he's like, you know, after you, milady, and, you know, we're gonna drive around town. And Yor's like, can we just stroll? And so it just cuts off pretty much 90% of Lloyd's ideas. It's just a lighthearted episode where, you know, Lloyd wants to take Yor out and tell her how much he appreciates what she does for Anya and around the house and things like that. She can't just be like, hey, Lloyd, last night I went out and murked all these guys and I got shot in the butt. Like, she can't just say that to him. The whole time, you know, they go to the movie theater, they go shopping for clothes, they go here, they go there, and the whole time, Yor's face is just in complete agony, and he's like, I don't understand, like, this is perfect, why isn't she happy? Eventually, they get to a restaurant, and she's refusing to sit down. I don't know, I mean, I guess you have to have insane core strength to do this, but like, she's basically hovering over the seat. Now, while all of this is playing out, Anya's like, oh no, we're going to trail them. And so her and Frankie have been following them to each destination because, you know, Anya's Anya and she doesn't want to be left out of anything. And so once they get to the restaurant, you know, Frankie's like, this is getting kind of boring, I think we should leave. But then Anya hears that one of the Red Circus members is still alive, and he's working at this restaurant, spots the Thorn Princess, and he's just like, how is she still alive? This is my opportunity, I can take her out. And so he goes to the back and like concocts this drink for her, a blowfish poison, which is super deadly. So Anya's like, no, we have to stay, like, there's this guy inside, he's trying to like kill mom and all this kind of stuff. And so they serve the drink to Yor, and since Yor has been trained to deal with toxins and poisons, she drinks it and she feels fine. the pain is gone. She's like having a good time. She's like, yay, let's do this. I'm so happy you brought me here. I'm so excited for the food. Lloyd is surprised by her sudden change. And he's like, oh, I wonder if it was the drink. And they're having a good meal. And the Red Circus member is like, no, like this is impossible. I gotta take this chick out. And so he goes to the back because he wants to make a homemade bomb. And so he's listing off all of the ingredients. So like, I can use this, I can use this, I can use this. And all of it's like bleeped out in the anime. And it was also like blacked out in the manga. You know, just so people won't try to, you know, actually do this. He slips on olive oil that's in the hallway, and he's like, olive oil? What's going on? He slips, this whole shelf like falls on him, and in his hand he's like, hey, this was the bomb that I was gonna make. And it explodes, and Anya is standing over him with like a toy gun, and he's like, a child? What is a child doing here? And Anya's like, go home to Catherine, you know, live another day, you need to stop being a bad guy. And she walks off, and he's thinking to himself, so the Thorn Princess is utilizing children? He's like, I'm getting out of this, you know, I'm just gonna live a normal life. By the end of the episode, Yor and Lloyd are having, you know, just a nice conversation today, and she's thanking him for taking her out and how it made her really happy and that they should do it more often. Then they share a smile, and then Yor spots like an amusement park across the riverbank. Lloyd's like, should we go and do that? And of course, at this point, Anya, you know, she can't keep her presence hidden, and she pops out and she's like, oh, a carousel, like I want to go to the carnival and whatnot too. And Frankie's like, hey, we're breaking cover. And then it flashes to the next day, and the poison has worn off, and Yor just looks completely miserable again, and Lloyd's confused, and he's like, I don't understand women. And yeah, that's how the episode goes off. Cute episode, loved it. A lot of people wanted the date episode back in season 1. I'm glad we're starting it off in season 2, because if you're a manga reader, you know season 2 is about to get pretty intense. It was great. I loved it. Animation was great. Voice acting was great. There's not much more than I can add to that. I'm just glad to be back in the world of Spy Family. So thank you guys again for listening to my review of season 2, episode 1. And until next time, remember to be awesome and stay true.